Hello friends, today we will study drafting in simplex machine. In this topic we will study what are the important parts of drafting system and what is their importance. Yesterday we have discussed that how much draft is applied at the simplex machine. So we have studied that a draft of approximate 10 is applied in the simplex machine. It may be more or less also. It may be 8 also, it may be 12 also, 14 also. So depending upon the requirement, hank of the sliver and hank of roving to be prepared, draft is decided. So this is applied with the help of drafting system. So in this diagram, 3/3 drafting system with offset rollers is shown. Some simplex machines are using 4/4 drafting system also. But this is most commonly used drafting system. The features which will be described here are common to other drafting systems also. So in this case, we are seeing that there are 3 top rollers and 3 bottom rollers. And in this case, there are 2 zones. What are those zones? So in this case, this is the back roller, which we are seeing here. This is the back roller, and this is called the back zone. This back zone, and this is the front zone. So we can say in 3/3 drafting system, there are 2 zones of drafting, back zone and front zone. So the total draft is calculated with the help of formula surface speed of front roller divided by surface speed of back roller. So this formula will give us the total draft, which is 10 or 12. So this draft is applied in 2 zones, in back zone and front zone. It may be, for simplicity, we can assume that in the back zone, suppose if draft is 2, then the back draft in the front zone is 5. So that total draft is 10. Generally, the back zone draft is ranging from 1.2 to 1.8, 1.9, and at the most 2. So it is generally 1.4, 1.6, and accordingly the draft in the front zone is applied. So the total draft is calculated with the help of formula surface speed of front roller divided by surface speed of back roller. The draft in the back zone may be calculated surface speed of middle roller divided by surface speed of back roller. Draft in the front zone can be calculated surface speed of front roller divided by surface speed of middle roller. So in this way, we are calculating the draft. The rollers may be one above another also, and they may be slightly offset also. In this case, it is shown that the back rollers are one above another. There is a point contact, whereas in case of middle roller, middle roller is offset by 1.5 mm in the back direction, whereas the front top roller is offset in the front direction by an amount 2 mm. These offset rollers help to increase the area of contact between the 2 rollers. Area of contact of the fibers is more, so control over the fibers during drafting is more, and chances of floating fibers or drafting waves is less. So we get improved results if the rollers are offset, it is not necessary that the rollers are always offset by 1.5 mm or 2 mm. It may be more or less also. And we can change this to some extent as provided by the manufacturer, limits provided by the manufacturer. So the back zone, in the back zone, the middle roller may be offset by 1.5 mm or 2 mm. In the front roller may also be offset by 2 mm or 2.5 mm. So there can be some variations in the amount of the offset of the rollers. But their object is to increase the contact area of the fibers with the rollers so that drafting takes place in such a way that drafting waves are not produced or produced to a lesser extent. The middle roller is having a top apron, and this is the top apron which is shown here. This is top apron and this is bottom apron. So top apron is running over the top roller, and it is moved in such a way so that it is going to the front roller nip to the closest possible. And there is a tensioning device also. So this blue color, this is the tensioning device. This tensioning device will ensure that the apron is moving smoothly under tension, and they are helping to move the fibers so that drafting can take place. And this is the nose bar or guide bar. So the bottom apron is moving over the nose bar or guide bar, and top apron is moving over the tensioning device. The object of top and bottom apron is to guide the material up to the front roller nip. If we are having aprons, we are getting lesser drafting waves. If we are not using aprons, then the drafting waves would be higher and irregularity and imperfections in the material will be more. So these are the parts of the drafting system: the top apron, bottom apron, nose bar, guide bar, tensioning device, and there are guides also. The sliver is entering here. This is the sliver guide. It is fixed on a reciprocating traverse bar. So reciprocating traverse bar is having a traverse of 2 to 4 mm. So this is done. This sliver guide will be guiding the material in the center of the back roller. So we can position the sliver. We can adjust this sliver guide so that sliver is going in the center of the rollers. And then there is another sliver condenser here, this, and this sliver condenser is condensing the sliver further. And then in the front zone drafting, the material has been drafted to a level of 10 and the sliver has now been converted into ribbon form. So here a floating condenser is used. This red color in the front zone, this is floating condenser. So this floating condenser is used to condense the material into a round shape, and this will ensure lesser hairiness in the roving also. So these are the parts of the drafting system. And the top rollers are rubber covered rollers, and bottom rollers are metallic rollers which are having fluids over their surface. So sliver is entering from this side, and we are getting a roving in the after the front roller here. So this diagram shows you various parts, and please remember this is the position of the floating condenser. Its name is floating condenser because it is not given any support. It is not resting on anything. It is resting on the roving itself. So that is why it is called floating condenser. Now, other important parts of drafting system are cradle length. So we have seen the construction of the drafting system. Now this is the cradle length. This cradle length means the distance of the tip of the top apron and distance of tip of the top apron from the center of the top middle roller. So this cradle length depends upon the fiber length. Our aim is to use the cradle length as per the fiber length to be processed. If we are processing a long fiber, then we should use long cradle. If we are using a medium length fiber, then we should use medium cradle. And if we are using short length fibers, then short cradle should be used. So for this, the guidelines are also there. So the guidelines are, there are three types of cradle which are used in the industry: short cradle, medium cradle, and long cradle. So if you are using a 36 mm cradle length, then it is called short cradle. If you are using 43 mm cradle length, then it is medium cradle. If you are using 50 mm cradle length, then it is called long cradle. Short cradle is generally used for processing cotton fiber and fibers having similar length like cotton. So for man-made fibers, polyester, viscose, we are using medium cradle. So long cradle is rarely used, and that is used only for the fibers which are having length of 60 mm and above. And for acrylic and other long fibers, we may use this long cradle. So generally in the industry, we will mostly find short cradle and medium cradle. So these two type of cradles can process almost all kinds of fiber. So cradle length is important because as per the length of the fiber, we should use cradle length. So this is the cradle length which is to be used. So the cradle will ensure that the fibers are guided up to the front roller nip, and floating fibers are less, and drafting waves are also minimum. If we will use the proper cradle length, then we will get best results. If we will use wrong cradle length, if instead of short we will use long, that imperfections and irregularity will be more. And regarding this floating condenser, the floating condensers are of different types, of different colors. So this is the diagram showing two types of condensers for coarse roving and fine roving. So object of condenser or floating condenser is to reduce the strand width, because their shape is made in such a way that this shape, this is the shape, here the roving is passing. So this is made in such a way so that the roving is condensed and made round. For finer roving, this kind of condenser is used. And for coarser, the larger space is required. That's why we are using different condenser. For easy identification for fine count and coarse count, we may give different colors to the condensers also. It suppose one may be red, another may be yellow. So for the workers, it will be easy to distinguish for fine and coarse roving. So if you use proper condensers, proper color and proper shape of the condenser as per the hank of the material, fly generation in the department is also less. Hairiness in the roving is also less. Hairiness in yarn is also less. End breakage rate at simplex is also less. So we are getting a round roving instead of a ribbon of fibers. So this improves the further quality of the yarn and which will ultimately improve the appearance of the fabric also. So today we have studied the drafting system and the important parts of the drafting system and important terms related to the drafting system. So there are three important terms: cradle length and spacer and condenser. So spacer is also used. Spacer is used to control the distance between top and bottom apron. So space between top and bottom apron is decided according to the hank of the material and type of material to be processed. For coarser hank and fibers like acrylic, we will require bigger spacer. So more space is required between top and bottom apron. So we use spacer of different dimensions as per the hank of material to be processed. So today we have studied three important terms: spacer, floating condenser, and cradle length, and other related important information related to the drafting system. With this, we finish our lecture and we will continue our discussion on the coming lectures. Thank you.